Please pay respect to the Buddha by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Today we will try Dhamma talk for a few minutes because there are many question answers. Last time in our Dhamma talk we had tried how to discern ultimate materiality. Today I will try to continue how to discern ultimate mentality. Venerable Sariputta, when he is practicing Vipassana before attaining Arhat stage, he practiced Anupada Dhamma Vipassana as well as Kalapa Sammasana Vipassana both. Anupada Dhamma Vipassana means he contemplates jhana dhammas one by one as anicca, dukkha and anatta. Up to 7th jhana attainment, Akinchinyayarana jhana, the base of nothingness jhana. So how he can practice? Because he discerns together base and object, or the mind and the jhana object. Now you are practicing Anapana, for example. For example, you are now practicing Anapana. What is the object of Anapana jhana? Anapana Patibhaga Nimitta, Anapana counterpart sign. This is your jhana object. Anapana jhana concentrations. Mindo. This is Poenga Mindo. This is called base of Mindo. Base means especially heart base. Jhana consciousness arises heart depending on heart base. But depending on Mindo, it arises depending on heart base. So there are two causes. Causes is Mindo also one cause. Heart base also one cause. If you want to discern Anapana jhana dhammas, then first you must discern Mindo, as well as you must discern Anapana Patibhaga Nimitta counterpart sign, both together. At that time only you can discern Anapana jhana dhammas. In Anapana jhana there are 34 mental formations, mental patterns. If you want to know these 34, then please practice practically, it is better. If I recite these 34, you will not remember. Because there are 34 mental formations you must learn by heart, such as 5 jhana patterns. Vidyaga, initial application of the mind to the Anapana Patibhaga Nimitta object. Vichara, sustained application of the mind to the Anapana Patibhaga Nimitta object. Piti, rapture. Sukha, happiness, feeling. Ekagata, one-pointedness. Altogether, there are 5 jhana patterns in 5 jhana. If you want to discern 5 jhana dhammas, first you should try to discern these 5 jhana patterns rising and passing away successfully for many times. If you want to discern, then first you should try re-establish your first jhana dhamma. Please enter into your first jhana, taking Anapana Paribhaga Nimitta as object. Coming up from first jhana, you should discern Mindo and Anapana Paribhaga Nimitta together. Then you should discern five jhana factors. In this case, you should try to see five jhana factors many times. Then if it is sure, then you should try to discern. Please re-enter into your first jhana again. Re-establish your first jhana concentration again. Imagine from your first jhana, you should discern consciousness, for example. Consciousness is cognizing the Anapana Paribhaga Nimitta object only. In this case, you should try to discern consciousness many times. Then, please re-establish your first jhana concentration, taking Anapana Paribhaga Nimitta as object. Then, imagine from this jhana, you should discern Anapana Paribhaga Nimitta in Mindo together, and then you should discern consciousness and phasa contact together. In this case, you should try to do many times. Contact means the joiner. It joins your mind and the Anapana Paribhaga Nimitta object. Because of this contact, you feel or you know the Anapana Paribhaga Nimitta object. So in this way, slowly, you must increase jhana dhammas one by one. After entering into jhana, imagine from jhana, you should try to discern jhana dhammas increasing one by one. In this way, you should try up to 34 mental formations. In five jhana dhamma, there are 34 mental formations. Among these 34 mental formations, Noble Eightfold Path also include. 37 enlightenment factors are also included. So because of this reason, these jhana dhammas are also very powerful. In the same way, you should also try other jhana dhammas such as second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, etc. Not only jhana dhammas, but also you must discern sensual sphere consciousness, mind-cognitive process, as well as six types of cognitive processes, such as eye-cognitive process, ear-cognitive process, etc. You must try these mentalities according to discern these mentalities according to cognitive process. In each mind movement, there are different types of mental factors. You should try to discern these different types of mental factors according to cognitive process. So please try under the guidance of your teacher. After discerning these mentalities, you should go back to discern ultimate materiality again. The ultimate mentality again you must discern ultimate materiality in mentality. Then you should try to discern ultimate materiality and mentality together. If you can discern, then you should try to distinguish ultimate materiality and mentality again. What is the difference between discerning ultimate materiality and mentality together and distinguishing ultimate materiality and mentality? Distinguishing ultimate materiality and mentality means you must try to discern this ultimate materiality and mentality together. Then you should try to see in this ultimate mentality and materiality there is no being, no person, no man, no woman, no Brahma, no Deva, only ultimate materiality and mentality only. You should try to distinguish these natures. This is called distinguishing ultimate materiality in mentality. Nama Rupa Vavatana Jnana. If you can discern internally, number 1, ultimate materiality, number 2, ultimate mentality, number 3, ultimate materiality and mentality both, and number 3, distinguishing ultimate materiality and mentality, then you can try in the same way externally. Both internally and externally you must try to discern ultimate materiality and mentality, then you must distinguish ultimate materiality and mentality in the same way. So, number 1, you must discern ultimate materiality internally and externally. Number 2, you must discern ultimate mentality internally and externally. Number 3, you must discern ultimate materiality and mentality together internally and externally. Number 4, you must distinguish ultimate materiality and mentality internally and externally. These 4 ways of discerning is called Nama Rupa Paricheta Jnana, defining ultimate materiality and the knowledge of defining ultimate mentality and materiality. After that, what you should try, you must continue to discern their causes. In Mahasri Brahna Sutta, Buddha says, Samudaya Dhammanubhasiva Gaya Same Viharati, Vaya Dhammanubhasiva Gaya Same Viharati, Samudaya Vaya Dhammanubhasiva Gaya Same Viharati. In this way, Buddha taught. What is the meaning? A bhikkhu abides contemplating in the body its rising phenomena, or its perishing phenomena, or both it is rising and perishing phenomena. What is the meaning? Because of the arising of causes, 5 aggregates arise. Because of the complete cessation of 5 causes, 5 aggregates cease completely without remainder. This is called causal rising and passing away. Sayadaw Udiyabhya Dasana Jnana. Another is momentary rising and passing away. You should also try rising and passing away of 5 aggregates or ultimate materiality and mentality. They are, as soon as they rise, they pass away very, very quickly. So, this rising and passing away is called momentary rising and passing away. Khanadaw Udiyabhya. Both rising and passing away, you must try to understand in this case. How you should try? Next, tomorrow, I will try. Today we must try question answer, many question answers. Maybe second question. You can read second question.
The second question, I'm confused about the term Nibbana. I find it difficult to aspire to attain Nibbana without knowing what is exactly Nibbana. Say, a state of mind where you experience eternal happiness. Some say it is a place just like heaven, where Buddhas and Arahants go to enjoy everlasting happiness, something like Western paradise. Do we experience Nibbana after death or during attainment of Arahanthood or Buddhahood? I repeat, there are many parts to this. I'm confused about the term Nibbana. I find it difficult to aspire to attain Nibbana without knowing what is exactly Nibbana. Some say it is just a state of mind where you experience eternal happiness. Some say it is a place just like heaven where Buddhas and Arahants go to enjoy everlasting happiness, something like Western paradise. Do we experience Nibbana after death or during attainment of Arahanthood or Buddhahood?
In our country, there is famous Sayadaw. He explains with one example. Have you married? What is the feeling of marrying? If you want to understand the feeling of marrying, you should try to marry. Huh? Is it true? In the same way, if you want to understand Nibbana, you should try to realize. It is better. Because what is Nibbana? There are very difficult to understand. Very difficult to understand means sometimes some disciples ask about these questions to the Buddha. At that time, sometimes Buddha says, Ragakyo, Dosakyo, Mohakyo, Nibbana, or Tanakyo, Nibbana. What is the meaning? The cessation of Raga, Dosa, Moha. Raga is attachment or craving. Dosa is anger. Moha is delusion. The complete cessation of the defilements is also called Nibbana. For easy understanding. Now you may understand how many noble truths are there. 4 noble truths. Among 4 noble truths, number 3 is what? Dukkha Nirodha Sijja. The noble truth of cessation of suffering. What is dukkha? 5 aggregates. 5 aggregates of Kalinga. 5 Kalinga aggregates are called dukkha. Complete cessation of 5 aggregates is called dukkha nirodha. That dukkha nirodha is Nibbana. Sometimes the complete cessation of 5 aggregates is also called Nibbana. But these are the results. There is another Nibbana. Another Nibbana means unconditioned element, asankata dhatu. Asankata dhatu means unconditioned element. When you practice vipassana systematically, one day when your insight becomes mature, at the end of your insight knowledge, path and fruition knowledge will arise. That path and fruition knowledge realize Nibbana. That Nibbana, the object of the path and fruition knowledge, is called Nibbana. That Nibbana is asankata Nibbana, unconditioned element. Unconditioned element means Nibbana is always permanent. It is not caused by any reason, any cause. It cannot be produced by any cause. This is permanent reality. But your path and fruition knowledge realizes that Nibbana. That in that Nibbana there is no 4 elements, as well as no ultimate materiality, no ultimate mentality. When path and fruition knowledge realize that Nibbana, at that time, the meditator feel very peaceful and very quiet happiness. It is true. That peaceful and quiet happiness feeling is associated with your path and fruition knowledge. That path and fruition knowledge arises depending on meditator's heart base. So this is path and fruition knowledge is another. The path and fruition knowledge is the object. Path and fruition knowledge realize Nibbana. That Nibbana is another. Do you understand? So when path and fruition knowledge meet with that Nibbana, or path and fruition knowledge realize that Nibbana, at that time your path knowledge destroys defilements stage by stage. Path knowledge associated usually 37 mental patterns or 35 mental patterns, etc. Among these 35 noble eightfold, among these 37 noble eightfold paths also associated. That path knowledge destroying defilement stage by stage. Stage by stage means there are 4 stages. Sotapanna, stream winner stage. Sakadagami, once Radana stage. Anagami, non-Radana stage. Arahanta, Arahant stage. 4 stages. These 4 types of path, these 4 types of path knowledge destroying defilement stage by stage. If you attain Arhatship, all defilement cease completely without remainder. Complete cessation of defilements is also called Sa-Upadisesa Nibbana. Sa-Upadisesa Nibbana means in this case cessation only. What cease? Cessation of defilements only. Cessation of defilements, although the defilements cease completely without remainder, 5 aggregates are still there. So because, for example, our Buddha, under the Bodhi tree, he became enlightened one. His 4 types of path knowledges destroying defilement stage by stage. When he became Arhat, his Arhat path again produced omniscient knowledge, Sabbinyota Jnana. So he became enlightened one. At that time, all defilements ceased completely without remainder. But he had still 5 aggregates. 45 years he must continue, and he preached Dhamma. So 45 years later at Kushinagara, he took final cessation, Mahaprinibbana, great Prinibbana. At that time, his 5 aggregates ceased completely without remainder. So, the cessation of 5 aggregates is called Anubhadisesa Nibbana. The complete cessation of defilements is called Sa-Upadisesa Nibbana. These are also cessations only. But when he became enlightened one, at that time his path and fruition knowledge, including Rampath and Rahat fruition knowledge, realizes Nibbana. That Nibbana is Asankata Nibbana. So there are 3 types: Sa-Upadisesa Nibbana, Anubhadisesa Nibbana, and Asankata Nibbana. Asankata Nibbana is the object of path and fruition knowledge only. So, when path and fruition knowledge realize that Asankata Nibbana, path knowledge can destroy defilement stage by stage completely without remainder. So, because of the complete cessation of defilements, his karma, which he had accumulated before enlightened one, cannot produce any new existence. Because of this reason, 45 years later, when he took Mahaprinibbana, at that time 5 aggregates ceased completely without remainder. That complete cessation of defilements and complete cessation of 5 aggregates are the result. The result means when his path knowledge realized Nibbana, at that time 5 aggregates cease. Because of the path knowledge realized Nibbana, defilements cease. If path knowledge did not realize Nibbana, then defilements cannot cease. So because of this reason, the cessation of defilements has caused. What is caused? Path knowledge and unconditioned element Nibbana. In the same way, because of the complete cessation of defilements, karma cannot produce any new existence. Because of this reason, After Pranibhana, 5 aggregates also cease completely without remainder. That complete cessation of 5 aggregates also has cause. What is cause? Path knowledge unconditioned Nibbana element. So, if path knowledge did not realize Nibbana, then defilement also cannot cease completely without remainder. In the same way, if defilement does not cease completely without remainder, then karma will produce new existence. But when defilement ceases completely without remainder, karma cannot produce new existence. Because of this reason, 5 aggregates also cease completely without remainder at final cessation moment, Mahapranibbana stage. So, complete cessation of 5 aggregates also has their own cause. What cause? Path in Asankata Nibbana, unconditioned element. Many disciples, when they say the cessation of defilements, this is called Nibbana, they understand clearly. The cessation of 5 aggregates is called Nibbana, they also understand clearly. But there is also the object of path and fruition knowledge. That path and fruition knowledge object, knowledge as object is called Nibbana. So that Nibbana is Asankata Nibbana. That Asankata Nibbana is not easy to understand. Because of this reason, sometimes Buddha do not teach this Asankata Nibbana Dhatu. But for those who already realize this Asankata Nibbana Dhatu, Buddha also teach about this Asankata Nibbana. Especially in Dhammacakkhani Pali, Buddha taught Asankata Dhatu clearly. So because of this reason, there are 3 types of Nibbana. Number 1, Sa-upadisesa Nibbana. Number 2, Anubadisesa Nibbana. Number 3, Asankata Nibbana. Do you remember? So, Asankata Nibbana is cause. Sa-upadisesa Nibbana and Anubadisesa Nibbana. These 2 types of Nibbanas are effects. Sa-upadisesa Nibbana means complete cessation of defilements. But there is still 5 aggregates. They translate substrata. I do not understand this word clearly. Substrata of aggregates. 5 aggregates are still there, but defilement ceases completely without remainder. Anubadisesa Nibbana means without remainder, substrata ceases completely without remainder. No 5 aggregates cease completely without remainder. That complete cessation of 5 aggregates is called Anubadisesa Nibbana. This Sa-upadisesa Nibbana and Anubadisesa Nibbana are the effects. Asankata Nibbana, unconditioned element, which is the object of path and fruition knowledge. This is called cause. So cause, there are cause and effect both. So there are 3 types of Nibbana. But according to Theravada teaching, when Buddha and has go to Nibbana, that means complete cessation of 5 aggregates only. Enjoying everlasting happiness, this is not true. Because enjoying everlasting happiness means there must feeling. One type of feeling. That feeling is one type of aggregate. The aggregate of feeling. This is one mentality. One type of mentality. In Asankata Nibbana, all materiality as well as all mentality cease completely without remainder. That happiness feeling also a nature according to Buddha's teaching. As soon as they rise, they pass away very, very quickly, so they are a nature. But Nibbana is nature, not nature. Nibbana is Sukha, not Dukkha. Nibbana is also Anatta, not Atta. Why? Because Nibbana, you cannot create Nibbana. If you practice Noble Eightfold Path systematically, at that time you can realize Nibbana. According to Theravada teaching, after the final cessation, Parinibbana, Arahats cannot be reborn as a human being or Deva. Buddha also cannot be reborn as a human being or Deva, etc. Their five aggregates cease completely without remainder. They never come back to this world again. They completely cease only. Okay, this will be enough. Do we experience Nibbana after death or during attainment of Arahahu or Buddhahood? If you practice Vipassana systematically, if you reach Sotapanna stage, that's what you are Sotapatti, part knowledge. Stream, winner, part knowledge also can realize this Nibbana unconditioned element. Stream, winner, fruition knowledge also can realize this Asankata Nibbana unconditioned element. In the same way, the other three part and fruition knowledge also realize this unconditioned element Nibbana. Only Rahat or Buddha realize it is not true. Four types of noble ones, Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Nagami, and Rahat. Four types of persons realize Nibbana only before death. After death, they enter into Nibbana. This is only metaphorically this is. Really, because of this, when they realize Nibbana by part and fruition knowledge, at that time, defilement cease completely without remainder. Because of the complete cessation of defilements, their karma cannot produce new existence. Because of this reason, after final cessation, their five aggregates cease completely without remainder only. There is no enjoying everlasting happiness in them. Because there is no five aggregates. Okay.
The next question. How is it possible for different practitioners to have different special abilities? Example, Venerable Sariputta, best in wisdom. Venerable Moggallana, best in psychic power. Some other monks, very strong in metta. Is it due to their different ways of practice to acquire these special abilities, or is it due to their parami? I repeat. How is it possible for different practitioners to have different special abilities? Example, Venerable Sariputta, best in wisdom. Venerable Moggallana, best in psychic power. Some other monks, very strong in metta. Is it due to the different ways of practice to acquire these special abilities, or is it due to their parami?
Both means parami is also important. Practice also. Different ways of practice also important. For Samagas, there are two factors are necessary. Adhikarocha Chandata. I had been explained in my last Dhamma talk. Adhikara means 50 Charana Dhamma conducts, as well as 8 types of Vijja, wisdom, conduct and wisdom. These are necessary for Venerable Sariputta, for Venerable Moggallana, and some other monks, very strong in metta like Venerable Subhuti. So they are necessary. Another thing is, these are called Abhinihara. Abhinihara means these paramis carry to attain their desire, to fulfill their desire. So because of this reason, there are two reasons. Abhinihara. Another is Patana. Patana is wishing for. For example, Venerable Sariputta, one Asankya 100,000 aeons ago, in the time of Anamadasi Buddha, he wished to become best in wisdom. chief disciple, to become chief disciple who possess best wisdom. At that time he was easy. Easy means ascetic, one type of ascetic. But at that time he possessed 6 mundane powers. He can fly in the sky. And then, under the guidance of Nomadasi Buddha, he practiced Samatha Vipassana up to Sankharupaka Jnana stage. The knowledge of equanimity towards formations. At that time, if he want to realize Nibbana, it is very easy for him to realize Nibbana. But he don't want to realize Nibbana at that time. He want to become chief disciple of our Gautama Buddha. So he wished for to be chief disciple. This is wishing is necessary. Another is he must fulfill parami. While he is fulfilling parami, number 1, he must learn Buddha's teachings orally. He must learn the meaning of Buddha's teachings. This is called commentary. In Pali, it is called Pali text and commentary. He must listen the Dhamma respectfully. Then, another thing is he must practice Vipassana up to Sankharupaka Jnana stage, the knowledge of equanimity towards formations. Now, please listen carefully. Our body is composed with small particles called kalabas. How you should practice to see these kalabas? Then, again, you must analyze these kalabas. In each kalaba, there are 8 types of materialities, such as earth element, water element, fire element, wind element, color, odor, flavor, nutritive essence, etc. So, nowadays, many scientists, they do not understand about this ultimate materiality and ultimate mentality. They understand our body is composed with small particles. They understand. But these small particles, according to their way of scientific way, they call electron, neutron, proton, etc. But they do not see real kalabas. But although they may see kalabas, they with assistance of their instruments, they cannot understand within one kalaba how many materialities are there. Why? This is the object of wisdom, not the object of instruments. So because of this reason, in our body there are some kalabas are produced by previous karma. Some kalabas are produced by mind. Some kalabas are produced by temperature. Some kalabas are produced by nutritive essence. So there are 4 types. They cannot differentiate these 4 types. Why? There are some kalabas produced by karma. Karma produce kalabas. They, as soon as they rise, they pass away very, very quickly. There is no time to carry them up to laboratory. To test in laboratory. There is no time. They have no time because as soon as they rise, they pass away only in this body. In the same way, mind produces materiality. In the same way, they cannot test. Nutritive essence produce materiality. They cannot test. Only they can test. Only temperature produce materiality. Why? For example, when a person dies, if you can discern 4 elements systematically in that body, you can see small particles. These particles, as soon as they rise, they pass away very, very quickly. But in each kalaba, there is fire element, tejo. That tejo is called temperature, udu. That temperature can produce new generation. In that new generation, there is also temperature. That temperature also produces another new generation. In this way, successfully they are producing successfully for a long time. Because of this reason, they think they can carry up to level 3. But really they are new ones, not old ones. New ones are rising and passing away very quickly only. So they can see this temperature produce materiality only. They cannot understand karma produce materiality, mind produce materiality, nutritive essence produce materiality. If someone understands under the guidance of Buddha, then can we say this is very high powerful wisdom? Can we say? Yes, this is very powerful high wisdom. Except Buddha's teaching, outside Buddha's dispensation, there is no teacher who can teach how to realize, who can teach the way how to realize these rupas. Only in this Buddha's dispensation there are methods or ways to practice how to see these materialities. So nowadays, if you also practice 4 elements meditation systematically, one day you can see your body became white. In that white form, if you can discern 4 elements and if you can concentrate on that 4 elements object, then your body will become transparent body, like ice block. In that transparent body, again you must discern 4 elements. If you can concentrate on those 4 elements of transparent body, then when your concentration becomes deeper and deeper, then you can see these small particles. The transparent body will break into pieces. Then you can see these small particles. If you analyze these small particles, there are 2 groups. Some are transparent clusters, some are opaque clusters. You can analyze these clusters in detail. So, Venerable Sariputta, he specialized this. He trying to understand this ultimate materiality under the guidance of Anomadasi Buddha. In the same way, he specialized to understand ultimate mentality in detail under the guidance of Anomadasi Buddha. He trying to understand Buddha's teaching as well as its commentary. He learned by heart this in previous Buddha's dispensation. This is the beginning stage of his parami. But later, whenever he gets any opportunity to meet with other Buddhas, at that time also he practiced in the same way for his chief disciple position. So because of this reason, his parami also one important thing. When he is fulfilling his parami, he specialized for higher wisdom faculty, to achieve higher wisdom. So this is also very important, his way of practice only. Because of this reason, wishing is one reason, fulfilling parami is one reason. Because of this reason, he became chief disciple in the of our Buddha. At that time, Venerable Moggallana and Venerable Sariputta they are also friends. So Venerable Moggallana also wished to become left chief disciple. Venerable Sariputta wished for to become right chief disciple. Both are friends. At that time, Venerable Moggallana also specialized to be and to possess different types of sex powers. He fulfilled these paramis under the guidance of Anomadasi Buddha. In the same way, later, whenever he meet with other Buddhas, at that time also he specialized for his sex power. This is his parami. In the same way, he also learned by Buddha's teaching together with its commentaries. When they are listening Dhamma, they respectfully listen the Dhamma. He also practiced Vipassana up to Sankharupaka Jnana stage. The knowledge of equanimity towards formations. So these are their paramis. But these paramis, they must fulfill 1,000 kriya, uncountable aeons, and then 100,000 aeons, 1,000 kriya and 100,000 aeons. At that time only their parami can become mature. Another example is Venerable Subhuti. He was the younger brother of Ananta Benjiga, famous, the donor of Jedavana Vihara. He also fulfilled his parami beginning from the Vadumudra Buddha. Vadumudra Buddha means 100,000 aeons ago, Vadumudra Buddha appeared in this world. At that time, Venerable Subhuti to be, he wished for to become chief disciple or foremost disciple in Metta meditation. So at that time he specialized Metta Bhavana. Based on his Metta Bhavana, he practiced Vipassana up to Sankharupaka Jnana stage, the knowledge of equanimity towards formations. Whenever he meets any Buddha's dispensation, at that time also he emphasized Metta. This is his parami. He also wished to become foremost disciple among Metta meditation, among bhikkhus who practice Metta meditation. So because of this reason, he became very strong in Metta. Whenever he went for alms round, in front of every house, while standing for alms, at that time he entered into Metta jhana. Imagine from Metta jhana, at that time only he received their donation. Why? If he sent Metta to the donors, at that time his Metta is very powerful. Why his Metta is powerful? There are two reasons. One reason is at that time he became Rahat. There is no defilement. So his Metta never approach anger. Free from anger always. This is one reason. Another reason is he specialized Metta every day. Because of this reason, his Metta also very powerful. Not only in this life, but also in previous lives. When he is fulfilling his parami, at that time also, whenever he get any opportunity, he specializes his metta meditation. This is also one parami. Because of this reason, his metta parami became powerful. So wish also one cause. Parami also one cause. So because of these two causes, they became foremost disciples in their own respective cases, such as Venerable Sariputta best in wisdom, Venerable Moggallana best in psychic power, Venerable Subhuti very strong in Metta Bhavana.
Next question. What happens if one focuses too hard or use too much effort to focus on the nimitta? Will the nimitta stick on the face or go inside the body? I repeat. What happens if one focuses too hard or use too much effort to focus on the nimitta? Will the nimitta stick on the face or go inside the body? But the next question is also related. Should one focus on the nimitta from a slight distance away? Should one focus on the nimitta from a slight distance away?
If you want to focus too hard or use too much effort to focus on the nimitta, his effort energy became strong, very powerful. Because of the excessive effort, restless uddhacca will appear. When restless uddhacca appear, then concentration will decrease. So too much effort also not good. But concentration and effort, viriya and samadhi must be balanced when you are practicing samatha or when you are focusing on the anapana nimitta. When you are focusing on your Anapana Nimitta, when effort is very strong, concentration is very weak, then at that time restless mind will appear very soon. When concentration is very strong, but effort is less, laziness will appear. So because of this reason, you will fall into Bhoenga frequently. So at that time, concentration and effort must be balanced. It is necessary. Will the nimitta stay on the face or go inside the body? Usually, Anapana nimitta is on the nostril only. But if meditator's mind change, we call this is perception. Perceptions and mind nearly same. When perception change, it will be changing. So because of this reason, for some meditators, nimitta is stick to the whole face, very big. Because he want to be like that only, but he do not understand his mind is in this way. Because at that time he is not focusing his mind, he is focusing on nimitta only. But when you are focusing on your nimitta, before you focus, before nimitta appear, at that time you should try to make sure the breath and nimitta become one or become same or not. Breath is another, nimitta is another, two different objects. Then you should not focus on the nimitta. But really this is not nimitta, really this is called the light of wisdom only. When you are focusing on your breath object, breath which is coming out from your nose becomes purple color or white color. This is called nimitta. At the day, you can focus on that nimitta. When focusing on that nimitta, when your perception change, nimitta will be changing. If you want to be big, then it will be big. If you want to be small, it will become small. But this is for those who have strong, powerful concentration only. When concentration becomes mature, if your perception change, nimitta always will be changing. So because of this reason, at that time you should focus around this area only. You should not pay attention to the color. You should not pay attention to the form or shape. If you pay attention to the form or shape, then when your perception change, your form or shape will be changing. If the nimitta is always changing, slowly concentration will decrease. This is one. Then, if you pay attention to the color, when your concentration very strong, at that time, if your perception change, color also will be changing. If you want to be yellow, your nimitta then your nimitta will become yellow. If you want to see red, then your nimitta will change red color. So if you pay attention to the color, when your perception change, color also will be always changing. If the nimitta is always changing, then concentration slowly will decrease. So because of this reason, you should not pay attention to the color, or you should not pay attention to the shape or form. In the same way, when your concentration deep, at that time, if you pay attention inside your body, then you can see nimitta is going inside your body. This is because of your perception only. But if you want to be your nimitta loud, then nimitta will become loud. If you bright this, then slowly you will be able to make your nimitta very loud. If you had been experienced Shuragam Pagoda, for example, if you want to see Shuragam Pagoda, if you bright this, when your concentration also deep enough, then slowly, if you set your nimitta, then you can see Shuragam Pagoda. So if you do like that, is it good or not? You cannot attain jhana. Because most important rule is Phota Photo Gase Bana Satin Tapetawa Bhavanda Seva Bhavana Sambhasiddhi. On the touching point, if you focus on your breath object, at that time your anapana meditation can be fulfilled. This is very important. If you move your attention from this point, then your concentration slowly will decrease. Your concentration will become very weak slowly. So because of this reason, automatically nimitta never go into your body. If you have any desire, then it will go in. If you have any desire, it will go out. So at that time, if you want to attain jhana, you should not forget. You should focus only on this, around this area only. But the nimitta also produced by mind. The light of wisdom also produced by mind. They are mind-produced materiality only. But external light is based on mind-produced materiality. External light is really temperature-produced materiality. Temperature-produced materiality means every consciousness which arises depending on your heart base produce small particles called kalabas. If you analyze these kalabas, there are 8 types of materiality. Among 8 types, there is fire element, tejo. That tejo can produce new generation. So the color of mind-produced kalabas and the color of temperature-produced kalabas, these 2 types of colors are called the light of wisdom only. But mind-produced kalabas color only internally, not externally. But temperature-produced particles color is not only internally but also externally. So externally, if you see this is called temperature-produced materiality only. In the same way, your breath is also produced by mind. Your concentrated mind can produce nimitta. But the nimitta inside your nostril or inside your body, this is called mind-produced materiality as well as temperature-produced materiality. But outside the nose, if you see nimitta, this is temperature-produced materiality only. So both the light of wisdom as well as nimitta, both are produced by mind only. Depending on mind-produced materiality, temperature produced again only. So because of this reason, nimitta and the light of wisdom are nearly same. Depending on your mind, they will become brighter and brighter. When your concentration becomes deeper and deeper, nimitta also will become brighter and brighter. The light of wisdom also become brighter and brighter only. So because of this reason, if you move your attention from this point, then you cannot attain jhana. Your nimitta can go inside, it is true. But automatically cannot go because of your perception, it goes inside only.
Next question. When is the right time for one to practice psychic power? When is the right time for one to practice psychic power?
Uddhujana, waddling persons, samaneras and bhikkhus also can practice psychic power, but their psychic power is not stable. Not stable means can easily fall down because of defilements. Because of this reason, in Sula Sonyata Sutta, Buddha taught Samatha Vipassana systematically up to Anagami stage, non-Radhana stage. After that, Buddha do not teach the Arhat stage. Between Anagami stage and Arhat stage, he teaches 5 mundane psychic powers. Why? So commentary explains the reason. Anagami, non-Radhana path knowledge destroys 5 hindrances. If there are no 5 hindrances, jhana is very easy for Anagami person. Whenever he wants to enter into jhana, he can easily enter into jhana without delay, because there is no hindrances. Because of this reason, if you want to practice psychic power, jhana is very important. Especially 8 types of kasina: Earth kasina, Water kasina, Fire kasina, Wind kasina, Nila, black or brown, Nila kasina, Pita, yellow kasina, Lohita, red kasina, Odata, white kasina. These 8 types of kasinas you must specialize. In each kasina you must try up to 8 attainments. 4 rupa jhanas and 4 arupa jhanas. 4 5 material jhanas and 4 immaterial jhanas. In each kasina you must practice these 8 attainments. And 40 ways. If you want to understand 40 ways in detail, please try to read Visuddhimagga, the path of purification. So, Nagami Basa, if he practices these 8 types of kasinas and 8 types of attainments in 40 ways, he can easily try, because his Nagami but completely destroy 5 hindrances. Because of this reason, it is very easy for him to practice these jhanas. If he can practice these jhanas, 5 mundane psychic powers are very easy for him. So because of this reason, if you want to become, if you want to practice psychic power, please try to become Nagami first. If you want to become Nagami first, then you must ordain. If you want to ordain, then you must go to Pa-Auk. Is it true? Then you can practice up to Nagami stage. After attaining Nagami stage, if you practice such power, this is the right time. Right time means you cannot fall down. Your such power cannot fall down. But if you practice as worldly before attaining any noble stage, at that time, because of defilements, your jhanas can easily fall down. But if you attain hardship, it is better, no problem.
Good Sayadaw, please explain the causes and consequences of being taken over by a harmful spirit or naga. And please explain how this can be prevented or dealt with should it occur to a meditator. I repeat, Good Sayadaw, please explain the causes and consequences of being taken over by a harmful spirit or naga. And please explain how this can be prevented or dealt with should it occur to a meditator.
You may, now you already heard every morning, you are reciting Metta Sutta every evening. There are 500 bhikkhus who learned Samatha Vipassana meditation under the Buddha. They practice 10 kasinas in 8 attainments. Based on these jhana attainments, they practice Vipassana up to Udiyabhya Jnana stage, the knowledge of rising and passing away. So they already understood ultimate materiality, ultimate mentality, and their causes. And they contemplate them as nature, dukkha, anatta, thoroughly up to Udiyabhya Jnana stage. They went to a forest. They are virtuous ones. Their virtue is very pure. They always purify their virtue. Because of this reason, devas above the tree, they cannot stay on the trees. Because virtuous ones are under the tree, they cannot stay above the tree, very hot. So because of this reason, they came down to the ground. And they are taking their children in their hand, wondering, they think these bhikkhus will go before Vasa, rain's retreat. But they do not go back. Because of this reason, nighttime they show a fearful appearance, bad smells, etc. Because of this reason, they cannot meditate well. So they go back to the Buddha again. At that time Buddha taught this Karaniya Metta Sutta for chanting as well as for Metta meditation. In that Sutta, Metta meditation begins Sukhi Nova, Kemino Hontu, Savasada Bondu, Sukhi Dada. This is the beginning stage of Metta Bhavana. This Metta meditation can practice for those who had already attained Metta Jhana. They must first, if they want to practice Metta meditation, these 500 bhikkhus, they already practice Chinkasinas, 8 attainments thoroughly. Based on this Chinkasinas, if they change Metta, very easy for them. Because previous jhana concentration is the supporting cause for succeeding jhana concentration. Because of this reason, if they practice Metta Bhavana, first they must try to focus on one person, one respective teacher who must be same-sex. They should focus this teacher's whole body or face, and then they must send Metta in 4 ways in each way up to the jhana stage. In the same way, another dear respectable person, about 10 persons, they must practice in the same way up to jhana stage. Then they should change dearest ones such as father or mother, etc. Very dear ones they must send in the same way, 4 ways in each way up to that jhana. Then they should, when they practice again, these 2 types of persons, dear ones and dear respectable ones, begin same. At that time they should change neutral ones, neutral persons, Mijjata persons. 4 ways in each way up to 4th jhana, up to that jhana. 4 ways means Aviro Hodu may be free from danger. Abhyabijo Hodu may be free from mental suffering. Anigo Hodu may be free from physical suffering. Sukhi Adanambri Hredu may be well and happy. In this way they must send Metta in each formula up to that jhana only. Then if they are successful neutral ones, they should change hatred ones or enemies. If they can send enemies, send Metta to the enemies up to that jhana stage, 4 ways in each way up to that jhana. Then they should try to make balance. He himself, dear ones, neutral ones, and the enemy. These 4 he must try again to attain jhana. But if he send Metta to himself, he cannot attain jhana. But to make balance, or to break down the barrier or boundary, he must do Metta again. If these 4 types of persons become equal, at that time only he should change all beings. So in Karaniya Metta Sutta, Sukhi Nova Kemino Hondu Savasada. Savasada means all beings. May all beings be free from mental suffering. May all beings be free from physical suffering, etc. In this way, may all beings be free from danger. In this way they must send Metta up to that jhana. So, if they sent in this way, their Metta is becoming very powerful. Why? Number 1 is, they already practice Chinkasinas in 8 attainments. This is one reason. Their concentration is very strong, powerful. Another reason is, they already practice Metta before also, but they do not specialize. Now, in this case, they only specialize Metta. Based on Kasinas, they practice Metta meditation only. Because of their Metta Bhavana become very strong, the Devas do not disturb them. So in the same way, this is Buddha's Metta only. But other methods I do not understand well. This is Buddha's teaching. So if you want to remove these dangers, then you should practice Metta meditation up to that jhana stage, and you should try to make your Metta Bhavana become strong, to make your Metta Bhavana strong. It is better. There may be other ways we do not understand. Other ways means mantras, etc. only. I do not understand this.
I understand Venerable Moggallana reached Sotapanna stage when Bojjhana Sutta was recited by the Buddha. Does it mean with Sotapanna it is sufficient to cure disease? I understand Venerable Moggallana reached Sotapanna stage when Bojjhana Sutta was recited by the Buddha. Does it mean with Sotapanna it is sufficient to cure disease?
I had explained this question before. By listening, one stanza from Venerable Sariputta, he became Sotapanna only, not listening Bojjhanga Sutta. He listened Bojjhanga Sutta after attainment of arhatship. When he already became arhat, at the day, one day he became sick. At the day only Buddha taught Bojjhanga Sutta. When he listened to Bojjhanga Sutta, he understood, I had already practiced these 7 Bojjhanga Dhammas. 7 Bojjhanga Dhammas exist in me in this way. He understood and he reflected at the day, happiness appear. Because of this happiness feeling, superior mind produce kalabas spread throughout the body. Among these kalabas, there are 3 types of tangible objects: earth element, fire element, and wind element. These 3 types of tangible objects impinge on his transparent body, kalabas. Then good feelings appear. Because of this good feelings, sickness or illness disappear. In this way, he cure his disease. Sotapanna does not cure. Sotapanna is another way.
Last question. Is this correct? First jhana, Sotapanna. Second jhana, Sakadagami. Third jhana, Anagami. Fourth jhana, Arahan.
No correct. For some meditators, if you want to become noble one or Sotapanna, etc., you must discern all 5 aggregates. Ultimate 5 aggregates, ultimate materiality and ultimate mentality are same. Among 5 aggregates, the clinging aggregate of materiality is mentality and materiality. The clinging aggregate of feeling, the clinging aggregate of perception, the clinging aggregate of formations, and the clinging aggregate of consciousness. These 4 types of clingings are mentality. So ultimate materiality, ultimate mentality, and 5 aggregates are same. If you want to become noble one, you must contemplate these all 5 clinging aggregates as nature, dukkha, and anatta, repeatedly according to the stage of vipassana insight. But if you practice systematically, not only these 5 aggregates, you must also contemplate samudaya sajja dhammas, dependent origination, pattas as nature, dukkha, and anatta. If you practice vipassana systematically, one day, when your insight knowledge becomes mature, at that time, some meditators, they enter into 5 jhana. While they are contemplating 5 jhana dhammas as nature or dukkha or anatta, at that time they realize nibbana. Then their path and fruition knowledge associated with 5 jhana, we can say, because there are 5 jhana pattas. But some meditators, when they want to begin Sakadagami after attaining Sotapanna stage, in the same way they may practice 5 jhana as nature or dukkha or anatta. At that time also, depending on their Bharami, they may become Sakadagami persons, once Radhana persons, noble ones. Then their Sakadagami path knowledge also associated with first jhana only. In the same way, for some meditators, 4 types of path and 4 types of fruition knowledge can be only associated with first jhana. For some meditators, can be second jhana. For some meditators, can be third jhana. For some meditators, can be fourth jhana. But for some meditators, it's different. Different means when they are practicing vipassana, sometimes when they are contemplating five jhana dhammas, they attain Sotapanna stage. Then their Sotapatti path knowledge associated with five jhana. But when they practice it for attaining Anagami stage, they may contemplate second jhana dhammas or third jhana dhammas or fourth jhana dhammas as nature or dukkha or anatta. At that time also they may become Sakadagami, noble ones. Their Sakadagami path knowledge associated with second jhana or third jhana or fourth jhana only. So different jhana also possible, one jhana also possible. But it is not sure jhana, Sotapanna, second jhana, Sakadagami, third jhana, Anagami, fourth jhana, Arhat. This is not true. But for Buddha, our Buddha, when he is contemplating five jhana dhammas, he began Sotapanna under the Bodhi tree. When he is contemplating second jhana dhammas, he began Sakadagami. When he is contemplating third jhana dhammas, he began Anagami. When he is contemplating fourth jhana dhammas, he became Arhat. This is mentioned in Majjhima Nikaya. For Buddha, this is true. There is another question. Number 9. Can a blind person see nimitta? Maybe there are 2 types of blind persons. Born blind and later, when they after reborn, they became blind person. There are 2 persons. Born blind persons means as soon as they take patisandhi in their mother's womb, at that time, eye face never arise. Such persons is called born blind. But in mother's womb, sometimes because of some reason, they can also become blind persons. This is not born blind. After they had been reborn, because of some reasons, they became also blind persons. This is also not born blind. If they are not born blind persons, later they became blind persons. They can see nimitta. Because their birth consciousness may associated with 3 rules. 3 rules means amoha, aloba, non-greed, adosa, non-hatred, amoha, non-delusion. These 3 rules are associated. They can attain jhana. They can also begin Sotapanna or Sakadagami or Anagami or Arhat. One example is Venerable Chakupala. Venerable Chakupala became blind, but he became Arhat. So, you should not condemn. You should have enough confidence. Blind persons sees nimitta. Okay.
Time is already 9:30. So,
okay. Today let us stop here.
Q&A tomorrow.
Sharing merit. Idame bonya ahasawakya waha hodu idame bonya nibbana sa pachayo hodu idame bonya sabba sadana bhajema kesabe mesama punya baga labandu Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sadhu.